Yeah, good win for us. North Florida's really good. They'll be one of the better offensive mid-major teams in the country this year. A couple high major wins already on the road. We had to guard at a really high level, and I thought we did at times. And you look down and they still had 77. I mean, these guys can really score it. Credit Coach Driscoll and his staff. The start that they've gotten off to, it's unbelievable. It's a portal era. It's an era where really good mid-major players transfer up when they can. And he's lost guys over the years, and he lost a guy who's in our league right now who's a really good player, and he might have lost more than that. I can't recall going back to last spring, but for him to come back, get some new guys, continue to develop the guys that returned, and get off to the start that they've gotten off to is amazing. And I was at Louisiana Tech. I've been at that level where you're just hoping your guys don't take off on you, and we were really fortunate to have 3 freshmen that were 4-year starters. And if they don't stay, if it were a few years later, right, where the portal became more prevalent, I'm not sure I'm sitting here today, So for what they've overcome to be as good as they are is incredible.
Coach, I know at the game the other day we talked a little bit about the slow start, but the energy you guys brought for the opening tip tonight would seem to make a big difference.
Yeah, I thought there was a difference in our energy level tonight, and the last one, but definitely the one before that. This is probably as hard as we've competed defensively, and we've got to build on that. I thought our guys were really locked in. Our guards were. Our bigs were really good in the offensive glass, and there were a couple times where I thought we could have spread it a little bit, and we had a couple empty possessions there mid-second half. A couple casual turnovers, which led to runouts for those guys, but they just keep plugging away and shooting the three, and they've got some guys who can really shoot it, and they collectively they really share it. They're hard to guard, but overall very good performance for us. Had some empty possessions with some missed chippies in the paint. Again, those turnovers, we've got to continue to improve with our with our decision making. But overall, played well.
How hard is the team to defend? This was like you said, it's a very offensive-minded, team to play to make them
Yeah.
in a hurry.
Yeah, and we've played against them for years, and they've got a really unique system. They're a little bit different this year. I look down and they hit 12 threes, and between 7 and 11 they get 9. Out of those two guys, but I think they're better at driving it and putting pressure on the rim and drawing fouls. Their team speed's about as good as I've seen, in the past few years in competing against these guys. So they're a little bit different, and we put a big emphasis on trying to keep those guards out of the paint, and maybe a little bit less emphasis of defending the three with some of his teams. They've just had 5 guys out there that can all really, really shoot it. But we gave up some at the rim, and we also gave up some threes. They're tough to defend.
You talked about your energy level tonight. How much of RJ is that trickle down to the rest of the team with just how hard he always seems to be playing?
Yeah, and it's every second of every practice. Heck, we got to have him slow down and shoot around. He's just an intense, high-energy guy. He doesn't take plays off, and it does spread. Ace is the same way. That starting front court for us, they've got motors. They just play hard. They change ends. They can move laterally. They're very active front court guys, very versatile, and our other front court guys complement them. They're different, of course, but RJ was fantastic tonight. Happy for him. We good? Pizza time?
Looking to Georgia Tech next, what do you want to see cleaned up?
I thought transition defense was better the last couple games, mid-second half. It's hard to go back and remember exactly whether it was mostly live ball turnovers, whether it was complacency off of makes. I think for the most part it was pretty good. I think it was the turnovers that hurt us in transition defense. So we got to continue to get better there, finishing at the rim. Executing offensively, those guys did some stuff. They changed it up and switched some stuff, and we had some possessions that we executed what we were trying to do versus some of that stuff, and we had some where we were pretty average at it, But But we'll continue to see different defenses and different offenses, and eager to get started tomorrow. You know, in the preparation, there's no time for a day off. We're right back at it.
How important is it to get a good road test as early as the season?
Yeah, huge. And that's why we played at Charlotte, you know, and playing on the road will be one factor, but guarding their guards and blocking them out and sprinting back in transition, and scoring against their, you know, their different coverages that they show us will be the bigger factors, you know, just the basketball side of it. But eager, you know, I know it's a game that our fans get excited about. And it's a road game against a high major team, and we're ready to get started on the prep again tomorrow.